everybody. This is Daniel Preshaw with His House. We do property management, real estate sales, and leasing all throughout Northern Colorado. And I want to just thank you for taking a minute to watch this video. This is Monday, January 25th, 2021. And this is our newest edition of Monday Management Tips. So today's video is, I'm recording it because we've had a number of conversations with self-managing landlords or prospective owner clients over the last probably 30 to 60 days. And the title of the video is this: My Northern Colorado tenant is not paying rent due to COVID-19. What now? First, I want to say that this is a very complex and ever-changing situation. There are executive orders on the state level. There are executive orders on the federal level. And so this is it's a constantly moving thing. And so this information could be outdated quickly, but I'm going to do my best to address it in its current state in January of 2021. So second thing, don't panic if this happens to you. There are things that you can be doing that I'm going to discuss with you in just one second. So to give some background, last year in 2020, the state of Colorado, through Governor Polis, he made an executive order to put in place an eviction moratorium, which went through December 31st, 2020, and is actually now expired. So the state of Colorado eviction moratorium is expired as of now. There is, however, a federal eviction moratorium in place, which was originally introduced by the CDC. And that federal eviction moratorium runs through January 31 of this year, 2021. We're expecting and anticipating that eviction moratorium on the federal level is going to be extended through at least Q1 of this year, so March 31st, 2021. And that executive order only applies to residential rental properties. So, can you evict a tenant right now based upon non-payment of rent? The answer to that question is no, you cannot. And so you're thinking, well, Daniel, what in the world can I do? Well, here are some things that you can do and should do a lot of these. So you should be very proactive with communicating with your tenants regarding rent payments. So first of the month rolls around, you don't see a rent payment, you should be reaching out to those tenants and asking where your money is. Be proactive in communicating with them. Send them text messages, call them, leave them voicemails, whatever it takes to get a response to understand their current situation. You can and should, in our opinion, be flexible with the tenants as it relates to when the rent is paid each month. So rent typically is due on the first of the month. Maybe you should allow them to pay a portion toward the middle of the month and then the remainder towards the end of the month. That might be a nice gesture. Give them some grace. Allow them to pay later in the month as it works for you as the landlord. Consider waiving a portion of their rent if you have the financial ability to do so. We work with a lot of really, really great landlords, a lot of which have reached out to us unsolicited and just said, hey, how are my tenants doing? Can we help them? Can we give them a small rent credit or something to kind of get them through these times? And that has been an awesome gesture that some of our owner clients have done, and I would encourage you to do as well if you have the ability to do so. You can investigate resources for landlords and tenants. So the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development, also known as HUD, has they have corona-related resources for renters and landlords on their website. So reach out to them, check out their website. They have some information and resources that might be helpful for you. The state of Colorado's Department of Local Affairs website is another very important website for you as a landlord. If you have a non-paying tenant right now, they have a program that's called the Property Owner Preservation Program. POP is the acronym. And the COVID-19 relief bill has actually allocated that bill that was recently passed has actually allocated $25 billion in rental assistance funds that will be pushed out through state and local governments. So Colorado Division of Local Affairs, DOLA, that is a website that you should jump on and take a look at, because there are a lot of funds that are available right now. We actually handle that process on behalf of our owner clients that we manage homes for. So if we have a tenant that reaches out and says, I can't pay rent, and they meet the criteria and we have all of the proper documentation, we can actually apply for those funds on behalf of the landlord, and we do that as a service to our property management clients. So we've done that, and we've been successful with that on a number of occasions, and it's really helped tenants get through this season of not being able to pay rent. There are some other local and regional resources that we've used in the past as well. So one really popular one in Larimer County is Neighbor to Neighbor. That program is great. It provides rental assistance to tenants in that market. And again, we've been very successful with receiving funds that are helping tenants get through this time. You can sign an amendment to the lease with your tenant and put together some type of specific payment arrangement. We would very, very much encourage you to do that. So put it on paper. If you're gonna revise the days that the tenant's going to pay throughout the month, put it on paper. Make it an agreement between you and the tenant, so that it's more in stone, and they agree to that. So that's something that we've been doing. You can serve tenants with a 30-day demand for rent or possession, even though that might be a little aggressive. And I don't know if you want that the image in this type of market. It's something certainly to consider. If you have to evict a tenant at some point in time, or if the eviction moratorium runs out, then having that demand notice in place is going to be in your benefit. So if you decide not to serve a legal demand notice for rent, you could also send what we call a balance due notice. It gives them a gentle reminder that they're still required to pay rent. And that's a good notice, and we're happy to provide it for you if you need one. So you can evict for reasons other than non-payment for rent. So let's just say that there are other lease violations or criminal or drug activity or things of that nature. We have been seeing evictions go through Weldon and Larimer County courts that are being approved for those reasons. You can serve a notice of non-renewal. A notice of non-renewal is if your tenant's lease is expiring and you decide that you're not going to renew it. So maybe they're not paying rent and you need to move on, unfortunately, and try to find a tenant who will pay you rent. You can serve a tenant with a notice of non-renewal. You might mention in the letter that you send to them that it's is not an eviction under the CDC's executive order, but it's only a notice that their lease is expiring, and you as a landlord are deciding not to renew that lease. So there you go. I just gave you 8 things that you can be doing when your tenant stops paying rent due to COVID-19. And whatever you do, don't sit around and do nothing. If we can help you, if we can be a resource for you, I hope that you'll give us a call or visit our website. It's right here on the sign, hishousepm.com. We're happy to be a resource and help you however we can. Thanks a lot for watching today.